Good morning, Olive, Arlo, and Frank. I'm out on a bike ride, and I am coming to you from the library in Neptune Beach, Florida, which is our local library. And I had to check out this book, so I said, can I use the conference room, because it was empty, and record a video. And they were nice enough to let me do that. So today we are going to look at Dr. Seuss's Sleep Book. And it said, this book should be read in bed. Dr. Seuss's Sleep Book. The news just came in from the county of Keck that a very small bug by the name of Van Vleck is yawning so wide you can look down his neck. This may not seem very important, I know, but it is. So I'm bothering telling you so. And there's Van Vleck yawning. Van Vleck the bug. A yawn is quite catching, you see, like a cough. It just takes one yawn to start other yawns off, and that's true. If you don't yawn, then your parents are probably going to yawn, and they're going to say, hey, you made me yawn. No, I don't think there's any medical reason that's ever been given for it, but yawning is contagious. Now the news had come in that friends of Van Vleck's are yawning so wide you can look down their necks. And there they are, the friends of Van Vleck's. The yawn of that one little bug is still spreading. According to latest reports, it is heading across the wide fields, through the sleepy night air, across the whole country toward every which where. And people are gradually starting to say, I feel rather drowsy. I've had quite a day. There they are, they're all yawning. Every which way. Creatures are starting. No wonder it's a little difficult to see the print. Creatures are starting to think about rest. 2 biffer-bomb birds are now building their nest. They do it each night, and quite often I wonder how they do this big job without making a blunder. But that is their problem, not yours and not mine. The point is they're going to bed, and that's fine. The birds don't build a new nest every day, but this is a crazy looking nest. It's a mashugana nest. Sleep thoughts are spreading throughout the whole land. The time for night brushing of teeth is at hand. Up at Herkheimer Falls, where the great river rushes, it crashes down crags in great gargling gushes. The Herkheimer sisters are using their brushes. Those falls are just grand for tooth brushing beneath, if you happen to be up that way with your teeth. And there they are, they're at this river, waterfalls or whatever it is, and they're brushing their teeth. Yeah, it's a waterfalls. They didn't say it that way. They said where the great river rushes and crashes down crags and great gargling gushes. It's another way to say gush over the waterfalls. The news just came in from the castle of Krupp that the lights are all out and the drawbridge is up. And the old drawbridge drawer just said with a yawn, My drawbridge is drawn, and it's going to stay drawn. And drawn means down, right? Drawn. Oh no, it's up. It's up. Yeah, it's up because it's up here. Because that's it. It's a drawbridge, and draw is up. Sometimes your grandpa's still learning what words mean, and you will be your whole life. Till the milkman delivers the milk about dawn. I'm going to bed now, so nobody better come round with a special delivery letter. Nobody's getting into this castle, because there's the drawbridge, and he's got it up. It's drawn. Yeah, I guess I'm too close. The numbers of sleepers is steadily growing. Bed is where more and more people are going. In Culpeper Springs and Stiltwalker's Hall, the Stiltwalker stilts are all stacked on the wall. The Stiltwalker walkers have called it a day. They're all tuckered out and they're snoozing away. This is very big news. It's important to know. And that's why I'm bothering telling you so. And here they are, all these Stiltwalkers. And their stilts are put up and they're sawing Z's. I can snore at night in bed, but I can't pretend to snore now. Maybe your grandmother's just making up that I snore. Maybe there's no truth to that. What do you think? Way out in the west, in the town of Merced, the Hinklehorn Honking Club just went to bed. Every horn has been quietly hung on a hook for the night in its own private Hinklehorn hook. All this long, happy day, they've been honking about, and the Hinklehorn honkers have honked themselves out. But they'll wake up quite fresh in the morning, and then they'll start right in the Hinklehorn honking again. And so they have George's, Henry's, Freddie's, and it doesn't show all of them, but there they are in bed, and then here's their horns. So they know which horn is whose by the name on there. The Hinklehorn honkers. Whoa. Everywhere creatures are falling asleep. The collapsible Frank just collapsed in a heap. And reminded me of this kid named Pete that Frank, he was when your father was a kid, we were staying at this motel up in the mountains in Pennsylvania, and he called your dad Frankie, you booked the chair. Frank did something to this chair and it broke. And he was like, you booked the chair, Frankie. You booked the chair. The collapsible Frank just collapsed in a heap. And by adding the Frank to the others before, I am able to give you the Who's Asleep score. Right now, 40,404 creatures are happily, deeply in slumber. I think you'll agree that's a whopping fine number. So this Frank is a pretty strange looking dude. As opposed to Frankie, who was a normal looking dude. Counting up sleepers, just how do we do it? Really quite simple, there's nothing much to it. We find out how many, we learn the amount by an audio-talio count. On a mountain halfway between Reno and Rome, we have a machine in a plexiglass dome, which listens and looks into everyone's home. And whenever it sees a new sleeper go flop, it jiggles and lets the biggle ball drop. Our chap counts these balls as they plop in a cup. Plop in a cup. That's how we know who is down and who is up. So here's that machine. Arlo, I'm sure you'll love this machine. You'll get this book eventually, and you can check this machine out while watching this video. Do you talk in your sleep? It's a wonderful sport, and I have some news of this sport to report. The world champion sleep talkers, Joe and Mo Redzoff, have just gone to sleep, and they're talking their heads off. 45 years now, each chattering brother has babbled and gabbled all night to the other. They've talked about laws, and they've talked about gauze, and they've talked about paws, and they've talked about flaws. They've talked quite a lot about old Santa Claus. And the reason I'm telling you this is because you should take up this sport. It's just fine for the jaws. Exercising your jaws. There they are. Do you walk in your sleep? And some people do that. I don't know if any of you, well, Aleph, you don't even walk yet. You're just getting there. You can stand. And you can kind of walk around in one of these little things with wheels on it that you have. But some people talk in their sleep, and some people walk in their sleep. Talking in your sleep is no big deal. Walking in your sleep can get you really hurt. So if you do, like, you'll wind up probably going to a doctor and seeing if there's a medical reason for it, because it's not a good thing. You could walk out of the house and go out into traffic and have no idea. Do you walk in your sleep? I just had a report of some interesting news of this popular sport. Near Finnegan Fen, there's a sleepwalking group which not only walks, but it walks a la hoop. A la hoop. With hoops. Every night they go miles. Why they walk to such length, they have to keep eating to keep up their strength. So every so often one puts down his hoop, stops hooping, and does some quick snooping for soup. That's why they are known as the Hoop Soup Snoop group. I wonder if Snoop Dogg is in that group. The Hoop Soup Snoop group. And there in the center is the guy getting some soup from somebody, and then everybody else has a hoop. And I don't know why they have a bat, whatever that is. Sleepwalking, too, are the curious Crandalls, who sleepwalk on hills with assorted-sized candles. Now, this would be a dangerous group. These people would be burning people's houses down. The Crandalls walk nightly in slumbering peace, in spite of slight burns from the hot dripping grease. The Crandalls wear candles because they walk far, and if they wake up, want to see where they are. So here, in this world, they're all outside. There's no houses around to get burnt down. Now the news has arrived from the Valley of Vale that a Chippendale mupp has just bitten his tail, which he does every night before shutting his eyes. Such nipping sounds silly, but really it's wise. He has no alarm clock, so this is the way he makes sure that he'll wake up at the right time of day. His tail is so long he won't feel any pain till the nip makes the trip and gets up to his brain. So it takes 8 hours for this when he bites his tail, and you'll see why. For the feeling to get to his brain, he goes, oh, and then he goes, time to get up. His tail is so long he won't feel any pain till the nip makes the trip and gets up to his brain. And in exactly 8 hours, the Chippendale mupp will at last feel the bite and yell, ouch, and wake up. So there's his tail. Must be kind of cumbersome to have that tail. And Mr. and Mrs. J. Carmichael Crocs have just gone to bed near the town of Fort Knox. And they, by the way, have the finest of clocks. Oh, Arlo, you're really going to like this page. I'm not at all sure that I quite understand just how the thing works with that one extra hand. But I do know this clock does one very slick trick. It doesn't tick-tock. How it goes is tock-tick. Yeah, that's silly. So with ticks in its tocker and tocks in its ticker, it saves lots of time, and the sleepers sleep quicker. You can't sleep any quicker, but Dr. Seuss gets to get away with some of that silly stuff. So this is, you might say, oh, well, Grandpa, that's just the second hand on there, but they're saying that's a third hand. I have no idea what it does, and neither did Dr. Seuss. He's just being Dr. Seussy. What a fine night for sleeping. From all that I hear, it's the best night for sleeping in many a year. They're even asleep in the Zweibeck Motel, and people don't usually sleep there too well. The beds are like rocks, and as everyone knows, the sheets are too short. They won't cover your toes. So if people are actually sleeping in there, it's a great time. It's a great night for sleeping. It must be the air. And there's the hotel. And the people are sound asleep, even though it's a place your grandmother would not stay in, trust me. She would not stay in the Zweibeck Hotel. I guarantee the Zweibeck Hotel is on the bed bug registry. And that's the first place your grandmother goes when we're going to have to stay at a hotel. It's a great night for snores. I just had a report of some boys who are tops in this musical sport. The snortiest snorers in all our fair land are Snorter McPhail and his Snore Snort Band. This band can snore Dixie and Old Swanee River, so loud it would make 40 elephants shiver. The loudest of all the boys is McPhail. He snores with his head in a 3-gallon pail. So they snore in a cave 20 miles out of town. If they snored closer in, they would snore the town down. So look at these guys. That's a nightmare. No wonder they have to go 20 miles out of town. Do you know who's asleep out in Funa Laguna? Two very nice Funa Laguna baboona. We've added them into our Who's Asleep count, which has grown to a really amazing amount. Exactly 8,808 creatures are sleeping now. Isn't that great? A jed is in bed, and the bed of a jed is the softest of beds in the world, it is said. He makes it from pom-poms he grows on his head, and he's sleeping right now on the softest of fluff, completely exhausted from growing the stuff. So he grows these, it says on his head, but they're like antlers that come out of his head. See him up there? And all that yellow stuff, that's his bed. The news has come in from the district of Daft that 2 aft are asleep, and they're sleeping aloft. And how are they able to sleep off the ground? I'll tell you, I weighed one last week, and I found that an aft is so light he weighs minus 1 pound. So the signs there, the red signs, one of them says, pull this at 8 a.m., And the other says, pull this too, or this one too. So you pull on that tail, because they weigh -1 pound, so they're like helium-filled balloons. They go up in the air. A moose is asleep. He is dreaming of moose drinks. A goose is asleep. He is dreaming of goose drinks. That's well and good when a moose dreams of moose juice, and nothing goes wrong when a goose dreams of goose juice. But it isn't too good when a moose and a goose start dreaming they're drinking the other one's juice. Moose juice, not goose juice, is juice for a moose. And goose juice, not moose juice, is juice for a goose. So when goose gets a mouthful of juices of mooses, and moose gets a mouthful of juices of gooses, they always fall out of their beds screaming screams. So, I'm warning you now, never drink in your dreams. And here they are, and the moose is dreaming of moose drink, and the goose is dreaming of goose drink right here. Fortunately, they didn't show us what the other looked like. Speaking of dreaming, I think you should note that the Bumble Tub Club is now dreaming afloat. Every night they go dreaming down Bumble Tub Creek, except for one night every 3rd or 4th week when they stop for repairs because their bumble tubs leak. But tonight they're afloat, full of dreams, full of bliss, and that's why I am bothering telling you this. And here they are, the Bumble Tub Club. The Bumble Tub Club. At the fork of the road in the Vale of Vavode, five foot weary salesmen have laid down their load. All day they've raced round in the heat at top speeds, unsuccessfully trying to sell Zifferzoof seeds, which nobody wants because nobody needs. Tomorrow will come, they'll go back to their chore. They'll start on the road Zifferzoofing once more, but tonight they've forgotten their feet are so sore. And that's what the wonderful nighttime is for. And here's these Zifferzoof guys having a peaceful rest. Everywhere, creatures have shut off their voices. They've all gone to bed in the beds of their choices. They're sleeping in bushes, they're sleeping in crannies, some of their stomachs and some of their fannies. So crannies are like little openings. They get in there, you'll see it. But fannies are your butt. They're peacefully sleeping in comfortable holes, some even on soft tufted barbershop poles. The number of sleepers is now past the millions. The number of sleepers is now in the billions. It's a lot of sleepers. They're sleeping on steps and on strings and on floors, in mailboxes, ships, and the keyholes of doors. Every worm on a fishhook is safe for the night. Every fish in the sea is too sleepy to bite. Every whale in the ocean has turned off his spout. Every light between here and Farfoodle is out. And now, adding things up, we're way beyond billions. Our Who's Asleep score is now up in the zillions. And there's a lot to see in this picture. Zillions is not a real number. It's just something that people say. $99,000,000,000,9 trillion and 2 creatures are sleeping. So how about you? So this is just trying to show a whole bunch of folks sleeping. But how about you? When you put out your light, then the number will be 99 zillion, 9 trillion, and 3. Good night. And peace out.